Was UFC 328 one of the most chaotic nights that we've had this year? Newark, New Jersey delivered an absolute masterclass in upsets, wars, and pure MMA drama. We had a shocking split decision in the main event, an epic 5-round flyweight war, a $300,000 robbery outside of the octagon, and a dark horse emerging at the welterweight division. I'm Dhabi, and today on the Grid Recap, we're breaking down the scorecards, the controversy, and the massive payouts of UFC 328. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because we got a lot to unpack. Let's get it. We have to start at the top. Sean Strickland is once again the middleweight champion. Let that sink in for a second. He went to Newark, New Jersey as the underdog against the undefeated boogeyman, Khamzat Chimaev, and pulled off another massive upset in a split decision win. But was it a robbery? The judges scored it a split decision, 48-47 twice for Strickland and 48-47 once for Khamzat Chimaev. Dana White himself said that he had a 2-2 going into the 5th round and ultimately gave Sean Strickland the 5th round. Now the community was split on this. Over on Reddit, 50-50, you have fans saying Chimaev was robbed, while the other point out that Khamzat completely abandoned his wrestling in the later rounds. The reality, I think Strickland's cardio and his jab is what won him the fight. However, do I agree with it? I don't know. I'll tell you one thing though. Sean Strickland squashed the beef. And apologized to Khamzat Chimaev in the octagon before the judges read out the scorecards. I don't know how I feel about that. I get that it's to sell the fights. I understand that. But at what point do you draw the line? And now it's going to start becoming more like the WWE for, with these like fake storylines. I don't know. I mean, it could be interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments. So what's next for Khamzat Chimaev? Because he looked depleted on the scales. He looked depleted in the championship rounds. I mean, word on the street is he wants to go up. Does Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling translate at 205? I think that's the question here. I think it does. Khamzat Chimaev is not a small middleweight by any means. I think he goes up to light heavyweight and has no problems with the champion there in Carlos Solberg. And who knows, if he does that, maybe he gets that Alex Pereira matchup. And still, flyweight champion Joshua Van gets it done against Tatsuro Taira. What an absolute war. Earlier on in the fight, Tatsuro kept getting the takedowns, hold Joshua Van down for a little bit, but Joshua Van has some of the best get-ups I've ever seen. He never accepts being on the bottom. As soon as it hits the ground, he's working on trying to get back up onto his feet, and I respect that. But in the 5th round, Joshua Van hit a flow state, seeing everything, landing everything, and he caught Taira, securing a TKO stoppage at 1 minute and 32 seconds in the 5th round. Hey, you gotta give credit where credit's due. Joshua Van is officially the UFC champion in my eyes. I think he needs to fight Pantoja. I think the MMA community accepts him now as the champion. Good win for Joshua Van. Next, I want to talk about the guy who put the whole 170 division on notice. Yaroslav Amosov, the former Bellator champion, came into UFC 328 and absolutely dominated Joel Alvarez. And Alvarez is no slouch, but Amosov slammed him like a flyweight, transitioned beautifully into an arm triangle choke. Amosov is now 30-1, and the Reddit community is already calling him the biggest problem at the welterweight division. His grappling is next level, and honestly, I'm excited to see where he goes from here. Who do you think he should fight next? Let me know in the comments. It's time for the bonuses. Dana White opened up his checkbook at Newark, New Jersey. Joshua Van, Tatsuro Taira, easily, no questions, took the fight of the night bonus, $100,000 each. Jim Miller, Yaroslav Amosov, took the performance of the night bonuses, $100,000 each. And the UFC also handed out the finish bonuses that went to Atiba Gutierrez, $25,000. Bobby King Green, $25,000. Grant Dawson, $25,000. And Baisungar Susukaira, $25,000. Sheesh. UFC 328 was one for the books. Strickland reclaims his throne, Van proves he's the flyweight king, and Amosov arrives as the dark horse. I want to hear from you guys. Was Sean Strickland's win over Khamzat Chimaev a robbery? Drop your scorecards in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this breakdown, comment down below, hit that like button, share, subscribe to the MMA Grid for more breakdowns, recaps, and betting guides. Let's get it!